Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the weekly forecast for the week between the 29th of April and the 5th of May. So, as usual, you can see the horoscope here, the planets in which signs they are. Here you can find the exact degrees, the signs, and the aspects. So, let's start day by day our analysis, and of course, we are starting from the 29th, which is Saturday. So on Saturday, we have the transit moon in Gemini, which will make opposition with Saturn in Sagittarius. So the transit moon in Gemini is great for all kind of activities related with writing, with speaking, communicating more with friends, traveling, learning new stuff, or working more with information. But the difference is that now that we have the opposition with Saturn, all of these activities may require more efforts from you. So it doesn't mean that you should avoid them, but you should be prepared that, for example, you may need to make some kind of compromise. You may need to invest more of your time into that activities. So in some way, we all can be challenged because of this aspect. The oppositions from Saturn generally can bring some kind of obstacles for us. No matter what we do, it may require from us to put much more time, much more effort. There might be some kind of boundaries that we may not be able to cross, to overcome. So be prepared about that. Next, on the 30th, so on Sunday, we have the transit moon in Cancer. So the moon is there also on Tuesday. So on Monday and Tuesday, we have the moon in Cancer. The positive side of this transit is that that's a great time to spend more time with your family, with your children, to do something related with your home, or even to take care of your home. All kind of domestic activities are very beneficial. The downside is that sometimes we might be over emotional. Some people, especially women, can cry easier. Of course, it depends on your personal horoscope, on your personality, how you react to things. But people who are generally more sensitive, when the moon is in Cancer, they become really emotional. Plus, this is on Sunday. The moon will make trine with Neptune as well, and Neptune is in Pisces. Neptune is again a water planet related with emotions, with sensitivity, with empathy. So this will be a great time, for example, to help your family something, to do something for your family members. Sometimes we need to make some kind of sacrifices. But probably when we have the trine, which is a harmonious aspect, we won't be forced to do that, but instead it might be more like a personal choice. So you can decide that you want to, for example, neglect your personal activities and plans in order to help your family, to be with your family. On the other hand, the trine between the moon and Neptune is a great aspect for creativity, for inspiration, for spiritual activities, for meditation. So this is a great time really to stay at home, not to be engaged with a lot of work or social activities, or meeting with too many people. But for example, if you meditate, if you have spiritual interests, then this is a great time, just to devote on that activity. So that's on Sunday. So on Monday, we still have the moon in Cancer, but the moon will make square with Mercury and Uranus, which are conjunct as well. Mercury, we know that it is still retrograde, so this aspect actually will stay for a long time. We had it during the previous week, and we are having it during the whole week as well. So when the moon makes square with this conjunction, from one side it activates it, but the square is a difficult aspect. So there might be some challenges related with communication. Something unexpected can happen. For example, if you are planning to travel to somewhere, be careful. Some surprising things might happen. Sometimes Mercury and Uranus can be related with some kind of technical problems, especially when Mercury is retrograde. So when the moon squares this aspect, the chances are bigger that something which is bad can happen. So for example, problems with your devices, computers, telephones, and everything are more possible. And be careful with the electricity. Uranus is related with that. So when we have this combination, just check everything. Be more careful. Next, on the 2nd, so that's on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. So on the 2nd and the 3rd, we have the transit moon in Leo. Generally, this is a great transit. People have a very positive mood, positive attitude towards life. So they're more there is more joy around us. So for example, that's a wonderful time for some kind of hobbies, for some kind of entertainments, for your romances, for example, for new dates. That's a wonderful transit when the moon is in Leo. And actually, the interesting is that on the 3rd, so on Wednesday, actually we have a grand trine. You see here Mercury, Uranus, which are conjunct. They make trine with the moon makes trine with Saturn, and Saturn trines Mercury and Uranus as well. So that's this configuration is called grand trine, and we have it on Wednesday, as I said. And that's a very, very positive configuration. It's related with some kind of opportunities, with having more luck. Sometimes we may receive some things which may not always, we may not always deserve exactly, such positive things. I mean, by deserve, I mean that we may not have put it so much effort to receive that. It's more like gifts from the fate or something. That's what I mean when I said that we don't deserve it. So that's a wonderful aspect. So Wednesday is a very interesting thing. Day. Another reason is that actually on Wednesday we have also Mercury turning direct. So see here, on Tuesday Mercury is retrograde. On Wednesday it's already direct. Of course, it may take some time until Mercury starts to move faster, so a few days, for example, 1-2 days after that. But in general, the tendencies are positive. So the communication, contacts with others, all of these things should improve. So we're going to have a green light for new projects, new activities, and we can be really inspired, even on Wednesday, even on the first day when Mercury starts moving direct. The general atmosphere is really positive. I mean, the other astrological indications are very supportive. This grand trine is wonderful, and it suggests that immediately you can have like a new inspiration, like a new idea, and you shouldn't wait. You should start that. This is a fire grand trine, so of course that's related with action, with initiatives, with feeling more confident in yourself, relying on yourself. This is the right attitude. And actually we have 5 planets on Wednesday, and actually on Tuesday as well. So Tuesday and Wednesday we have 5 planets in fire signs: Saturn in Sagittarius, the Moon in Leo, Uranus, Mercury in Aries, and Venus in Aries as well. So there's a lot of fire energy, which suggests that that's a great time for new initiatives and starting whatever you want to do. On the 3rd, on Wednesday, we have also the exact sextile between the Sun and Neptune. You see, the Sun is on the 14th degree in Taurus, Neptune on the 14th degree in Pisces. We're going to feel this transit probably during the whole week, because we have an orbis, and it affects us a little bit before, a little bit after the exact aspect. But on Wednesday, the aspect is exact, which means that it has the strongest influence. And that's a very interesting combination. Neptune is a wonderful planet related with creativity, with inspiration, with art, with helping and supporting others. And Taurus is a sign which may lack all of these qualities, because Taurus is very grounded. Taurus is very focused on reality. It's not a sign which is so interested, in the invisible, in meditations and such things. So when we have this supportive aspect, you may notice that even some people who are generally not so, for example, soft, not so kind, they might be more influenced now by this sextile. And the positive side is that, as I said, Taurus is related with material stuff, with reality. So you can put into reality all of these inspiring ideas that you may have during this week, basically. So that's a wonderful aspect. Next we have Thursday, when the transit moon enters Virgo. So the situation, the general atmosphere changes, because previously when the moon was in Leo, it was more about entertainment, hobbies, things that you love to do. But now that the moon is in Virgo, the main topic is about some kind of responsibilities, some things that you need to take care of. You need to be more analytical, you need to be more responsible. You need to be more focused on the small details. You may notice that people can be more critical as well, because Virgo is, these qualities are just typical for Virgo. They may notice the small mistakes, so just pay attention on the details. So on Thursday and Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, we have the transit moon in Virgo. So during this two days, Mercury is still retrograde when I'm recording. I apologize for the mistakes. So when the moon is in Virgo, this is the time to be focused and paying attention on the small details. And on Friday, it might be more challenging for us, because we have the moon opposing Neptune. And the challenging side of Neptune is that, it's related with confusions, with forgetting about something, with making mistakes. So on Friday, you should be especially careful with all the small things that you need to pay attention with, some appointments, the plans that you have made. And Friday actually is a very interesting day, because we have also Tau square. So as we said, the moon is opposing Neptune, and Mars is squaring both of the planets. So Mars Neptune is still not exact, but we can feel the influence of that aspect. Mars on the 10th degree in Gemini, Neptune on the 14th degree in Pisces, and the moon activating this and actually closing this Tau square. So with Neptune and Mars, when they are squaring each other, that's a difficult situation, a difficult aspect, because the the nature of these planets is totally different. Mars is an active planet related with, being impatient, looking ahead and, just acting on something. But Neptune is a planet which is related with, taking a rest, moving slower through things, imaginating more, dreaming more instead of acting. So we have a conflict between these two planets. So, for example, you may have a lot of things to do, or even you may want to do them, but on the other hand, you may feel a little bit unmotivated, or some people might feel more lazy even. This aspect can definitely bring this feeling that you're just unmotivated to take any actions. Some mistakes are possible. Sometimes this aspect can be related with lies, with some kind of, unfair actions that others can take, or something they can say, because Mars is in Gemini, a sign related with speech, with ideas. So just check everything, check the information, don't trust people too easily, don't push yourself too much as well. But also on the 5th, on Friday, we have another configuration. So besides the Tau square, we have also another grand trine. So basically during this week we have two grand trines, different grand trines. So on Friday, again, the moon makes trine with Pluto. Pluto makes trine with the sun, and the sun trines the moon as well. So this time the grand trine is in earth signs, which is much more related with some kind of stability. Of course, you can still receive some kind of opportunities, as we said, something which you haven't worked so hard for, but with the earth element, the situation can be slower and much more grounded. It's not so, the situation is not so impulsive, the energy is not so impulsive. Instead, it's more about being more grounded and doing practical things. Actually, you can have success in practical activities, including finances, including career and business projects. So actually, I believe these were all the indications that, the most important, at least during this week. And thank you very much for watching.